Welcome to Sequences 201. In this video, I'm going to show you how to up-level your sequences with AI snippets. So, what's an AI snippet? Navigate to the Snippets tab on the left-hand side here and click New Snippets. There's the option to use a regular snippet, which is static text, in your sequences, and the option to use a smart snippet or an AI snippet. This is where we prompt what the snippet needs to be, and we give it a set of parameters so that it writes it in a customized way that we can use to sound human and personalized in every single email. When you create this snippet, you're given the option to give it a name, set permissions, use agent responses as variables, and then prompt the snippet. Finally, you can set the ideal length of sentences that you need this snippet to be. Generally, I find that shorter is better, and then write a fallback if there are any variables in your snippet. Just in case those variables don't populate, it will go to the fallback and it won't have a blank variable in the sentence. Let's take a look at some example snippets. One of the first types of AI snippets I recommend creating is an intro snippet. One of the key things to writing good personalized emails is explaining why you're reaching out to the person. Here, I've drafted the prompt to say, write a sentence based on the person's job title explaining why I'm reaching out to them. Say that it's because we work with similar teams in, and then I put all the titles here, to automate their outbound and drive this specific metric for them. Here, we want to include the variable that the AI snippet will take in and use to write this message in a more custom way. We can define multiple variables here. So here I only have the person's title, but if I wanted to, I could have the person's first name, for example, just to explore all of the other variations. If you have integrated with LinkedIn, you can pull in LinkedIn specific data about them, person level data, company level data, and then data from you, the sender, or whoever the sender is in the email. We can also bring in CRM fields and CRM level data into the snippets. But for this example, we only need their job title, so we're going to remove all the other variables so that it doesn't use them, set the ideal sentence length to 2, and then create a fallback sentence here. I'm going to click Generate Examples just so that we can see what some of the examples will look like. So here's an example to someone that has a head of growth title. It says, I'm reaching out because we work with leading growth teams to automate outbound and drive 100 meetings a month. Given your role, I thought this might be relevant. So I like this because it actually is mapped to their role, and I'm only speaking about growth teams, so I'm not speaking about things that are not relevant to them. Meanwhile, for this person that does revenue operations, I switched it and now it says revenue operations teams and 100 meetings a month. So this is a really great way to personalize at scale, especially when you're selling to different personas that have similar needs but speak different languages. Let's go over 2 other examples just so that you can get the gist of how these work. Building up the complexity here a little bit, I have a snippet that references a relevant customer's quote. Another thing I like to do in my emails is write PS and then share something that a customer actually said about us. I am able to do this dynamically where I'm prompting the AI snippet to take into consideration the person's company and the person's job title, and then to choose from predetermined quotes which one to share with them that's the most relevant. That way, the email is dynamic and it's handpicked and chosen for them. Now, I only have 3 quotes here, but if I was really building this out, I would include every single major customer quote across all of my case studies, sectioned out by what their title is and what the quote is signaling. And then I would have this snippet choose from that and then pick the right one. Last but not least is a more complex example, which is a snippet that uses results that are returned from an AI agent. So we're using the AI agent responses to the questions as variables to customize in the snippet. First, let's walk through the prompt. Here, we're saying, write a sentence based on the company's recent product release and say that, hey, this product release is probably driving a lot of traffic to your website. Are you actioning on all of those visitors in a timely way? You can use Unify to do that. Here's how. So this is what that prompt is doing, and it's using this variable from the AI agent that is running the check on whether a recent product release occurred. So we connected the AI agent here. It's called recent product release. And I pulled it up so that we could see it. What this agent does is it searches the internet, it looks at the news, company website, blog posts, and LinkedIn to see if a product release occurred in the last 30 days. It asks this question, has this company recently announced a product release, true or false? And then if it has, return response type text and tell me what the product release is. We're using this response type text that's being returned, and we're putting it into this AI snippet. I ran an example here for Figma because it's config season. And when you scroll down to see how the agent generated this, it had a recent product release, true, and it returned multiple of Figma's product lines here. So we see Figma Draw, Grid, Figma Buzz. Great. So it's doing what we expect. Now let's go into the snippet and generate examples. Perfect. So here we see examples which are being sent to people at Figma. And this says, congrats on the exciting announcements from Config, especially Figma Make and Figma Sites. Those look like game changers. Are you currently retargeting website visitors, checking out the news or social posts about these new launches? Would love to share how we can help you keep the momentum going. Cool. So that's how this AI snippet works. Now, all we have to do once we've made our snippets is embed them in the sequences that we're going to use them. Here is us using the AI snippet in action. To add an AI snippet, all we have to do is click the Add Snippets icon or the semicolon hotkey, select from our Smart Snippets, and then choose the relevant smart snippet that we just created. Now, if we read my email on the left-hand side here, and see how it's customized for this head of growth, I can see that it's looking like a much more personalized email, and that has a relevant PS at the end. All right, so this concludes Sequences 201. I hope this got the creative ideas flowing for how you can use AI snippets to hyper-personalize your outreach today. Thank you so much, and see you in the next video.